Hello everyone, this is Anurag Singh, DMM of CSI KJSIEIT. I am back with the second part of our Premiere Pro tutorial. So let's get started. I believe we had paused the slip tool. I told you guys it's a very underrated tool and let's pick that up. So the slip tool only works when the length of the clip that we're working on is it's it's less than the length of the initial clip. It's not the full length. So like this clip, the first one that we're seeing, Switzerland one, we had not made any cuts on this clip, we had not trimmed it, so it's the same length as the one that we see in the media browser. So when you hover over the end of the clip, you see the trim edit tool, with which you can just reduce the size according to you. Say I'm trimming it to be just at the end of the marker. So now if we click on the gap in between, press delete, that will shift the Switzerland 3 clip right to the end of this one. Okay, so now you see it starts, you press Y and you double click on the clip and you shift it. So if you guys don't really get what's happening, the start and end point of the clip is changing. So if I get it to the rightmost point, see, it can't go any further because the left frame shows that the start is at 0 seconds and the clip is ending at 3 seconds and 7 milliseconds. So we can't really go any further, but if we go left and we switch that, so what we're basically doing is just we're switching the start and end point of the clip. So now it will play from a different point, but the length of the clip will be the same. Alright, that covers your slip tool. Okay, so we press the space bar to play through our sequence. There's two more keys that you should know about. The L key, which again starts playing the sequence, and it plays at times 1. So if you go back, press L, it plays at times 1. If you press L again, it plays at times 2. And so on. It makes your clip go faster. The same way, you press J, plays your clip backwards, times -1. Again, it goes times -2. So that's handy. Also, in Premiere Pro, each second is divided into a number of frames. So when you are pressing the right or left arrow key, what you're doing is not going forward or backward in milliseconds, you're going forward or backward per frame. So if let's check the frame rate of this clip. We go to sequence settings. It shows you your frame rate. Your frame rate 25 frames per second. That is, you get 25 frames per second of this clip. So if you just press right once, you're just going forward one frame. If you press shift and then you press right, you're going forward 5 frames in the clip. Okay, so let's make something of our 3 Swiss clips. Say I'm selecting the first one. I want to start my selection at 3 seconds. So let's make an endpoint there. And I want to use 5 seconds of this clip. So when we reach 8 seconds, you don't have to be exactly precise, that is fine. So create an out point and I just drag the video part of it. Now, the way your tracks work is that the layers pile on each other. So if I have the Swiss 1 clip on top of the Swiss 3 clip, so when your marker is there, it is going to play the Swiss 1 clip instead of the clip below it. So I don't need the first clip. I'll just move it. I drag Swiss 1 clip to the start of the timeline. Remove the space in between. I don't even need a Swiss 3 clip. We'll add that later. So say the second clip. Now the second clip is huge. It's 30 seconds. We don't really want 30 seconds worth of your clip. So let's just say we keep it about 10 seconds. So take the second clip. I'll start at the very beginning. And I'll take About, yeah, that is about 10 seconds of it. I'll drag it to the sequence. So just so you know, take the third clip. Now I don't want to take the third clip from the very beginning. I want it when the tram, it reaches the middle pillar. So yeah, we pause it right there. We create an endpoint. And about there seems fine. So take that. And I want to tell you guys about these two options, overwrite and insert. So when you overwrite this particular part of the clip onto the sequence, it just takes that part and it puts it on the first clip. So we don't want that. We don't want it to overwrite our initial clip. If you saw that, it just took the initial clip from the preview monitor and it just put it on our Switzerland 2 clip. And we don't really want to override our clip. So we'll do Control Z. What we'll do is change the track which controls the overrides. So we set it to track 2, that's V2, and then when we do an override, so it just adds it on the second track. Now we don't want the audio, so we can just get rid of it. So now let's work with text titles. There's two ways to add text to your sequence. One, you can either use the text tool, which is by pressing T, you get the text tool. You can just click on the program monitor right there and it will create a graphic layer for you. You can just enter the text you want. Right, so we don't want that. We want to enter Swiss. Should make it Switzerland. So now it's time to edit this text. So the window that you see on my right, it's called the Essential Graphics window. If you don't already have it opened, you can go to your window tab and you can select Essential Graphics. It will open this particular window. So in the Edit tab, you can edit your current text layer. So say we want it to be in all caps. So we press right there. I want its size to be a bit larger. That's fine. And say I want it to be center aligned, vertically and horizontally. So those two options will let you do so. Alright, so maybe we can even make it bold. Yeah, that seems better. Okay, so now we want to span this particular text title from the start to the end of our clips in the sequence. And it plays out so. Now let's work with FX controls. So in the preview monitor, you'll find FX control right beside the audio track mixer. So there is three very basic but very, very important attributes that I want to tell you guys about. It's position, scale, and opacity. So position gives you the X and Y coordinate of your current clip, your current layer. So say Switzerland, say I don't like it to be in the exact middle. Say I want to move it a bit to the right. So I just double click on the current value and you can drag to the right or left to change it. You can do the same with the Y value. You can get it a bit lower. Say I want it in the bottom right corner. So I'll change it accordingly. Scale is the current size of your layer. By default, it's 100 and you can scale it accordingly by changing the value. I think I'm happy with the current size of our text title. Now opacity. Opacity is basically how transparent your clip is, your layer is. So you can change the percentage here to change the opacity of your clip. I guess again 100 should be fine. Alright, now finally I want to tell you guys about two very basic but very important video transitions. They are dip to black and dip to white. So you go in the effects tab under the media library, you search there, you get it right there. So what dip to black does is put a black screen and it gradually reduces the opacity of the black screen. Now, because we have a title on top of our clip, we must put it right there on the title as well. So it can smoothly transition into the clip. Then if you zoom in, you can increase or decrease the size of your transition. The very same applies to dip to white as well. Now there's a million more things to do to learn in Premiere Pro, but this has to be a basic course, and I think that this tutorial has gotten you well equipped with the basics of Premiere Pro. So this brings us to the end of this course, and I hope you found this tutorial useful. Drop a like and comment and let us know what you would like to learn next. Follow KJSIEIT Chapter for more such tutorials and technical updates.